still muted, I think. Should get a little pop-up that says,
I got it.
There you go. Awesome.
I'm the one expressing his timbre. I
Welcome.
love talking about that as if I'm an avatar. It's just the coolest thing. So I appreciate that language. So I just finished up module 7. And so this whole, the I am being lived, I am not in control, I am being lived is amazing. So I'm totally on board with Corbett, but it's also fucking wild. So here's my question. I mean, I used it this week. I had weird things happen and I kept saying, I'm not in control. I'm being lived. And I just let things just happen. And it was so cool. I mean, I really got it. Anyway, a lot of nuts and bolts. So my question is about this whole manifestation thing, law of attraction. So I wrote this down because I didn't want to forget. So if I'm being lived, it's really like a destiny, right? My higher self set this up. This is one incarnation that I've got. Higher self set it up, all your raw stuff. So this is just a point in my existence that's happening here to do whatever it's going to do. And it's cool and it's fun. So I'm really diving into the fun of it, right? So does law of attraction really exist? I mean, is manifestation just old news? If my higher self already picked where I am, how I look, what's happening, all the stuff that's going on, who came in my life and who didn't, and I'm just responding to these things, can I really direct that? I mean, can I direct anything? Or am I just being lived? So I always feel like, well, manifestation, how can that really, you know what I mean? So that's my question is, I know, because you talk about law of attraction and I always feel like,
Yeah. Well, from what position are you asking that question? Can I manifest?
I guess well, that would have to be the person. The person is saying that. The person is saying, can I manifest that partner? Can I manifest, whatever? Because that's what's happening here. But isn't that what manifestation is? I mean, you're manifesting, if you're just talking about a partner, isn't that you're doing it as a person?
Yes. And that's not invalid. Like, let's be honest about where we are, of course. If we believe we're a person, it's okay to speak as a concession to that. But when you said manifestation's manifestation, who really cares? Like, if it's just a law, it's just happening. What does that have to do with me? Whose voice is that? You sound much more expansive when you talk that way.
It feels much more expansive. I mean, I feel that when I'm looking at it as I am being lived, I am actually being lived. And I've kind of always known it, but the language that you're providing and doing this course is, you talk about remembering. It's so much remembering. It's way cool. But then I come back with, this law of attraction thing. Like, how can that be a thing? If I'm just being lived, why would I ever even care? What's coming to me? How cool is that? It feels like the manifestation part of it happened a long time ago. I mean, my life is already a manifestation of my higher self.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to want to direct it in any way, why? It's supposed to be perfection. It's supposed to, everything's been coming to me already as it's supposed to be. It's I forget what the raw thing is. Not a trigger. It's a, whatever that is, but
catalyst.
Right, it's a catalyst, right? So there are all these catalysts and I'm seeing things when they come up. I always think, I'm like, oh, it's just a catalyst. All right, I'm being lived. What does it feel like I should do? Instead of trying to direct it and manifest something like my thoughts are going to control this somehow.
Mm-hmm. It's like surfing a wave. It's like, I want to enjoy the flow of this wave. But if I think I'm controlling the wave the whole time, I can't enjoy it. And the thought that I'm controlling the wave and making it wave is a delusion anyways. So yes, that idea doesn't actually serve me. It's a smaller point of view in the universe. So the best way to see the law of attraction what's the spiritual purpose of that law? Because every law in the universe is built towards self-actualization, upward spiraling, that everything has to move back to the creator. All laws accomplish that. So why law of attraction? Well, the law of attraction is basically just the source desiring to experience itself, or you desiring to experience yourself. That's what the law of attraction is. And so the source made this law so that everyone, every being in the universe, everywhere, all at once, is attracting to themselves the parts of them they want to know and experience. So like we said earlier, if you have a burning desire for a romantic relationship, then your soul wants that. And you can't not want it until you experience it or until you do lots of spiritual sadhana to overcome it. One of two ways, that's it. You've got to move through that karma. So you will attract experiences to yourself based upon what you're vibrating. It's just you desiring to experience yourself. So you're very right to say, well, who really cares then? If it's all just happening anyways. The self that wants to use the law of attraction as a means to control its life is still the ego. Oh, but there's this universal device I learned about through Neville Goddard that I can control my life and make beautiful, pleasurable things happen. So I want to do that. And then it hears non-doership and goes, well, wait, but non-doer. So is that a contradiction to law of attraction? But of course, they're not in contradiction. They're the same law ultimately. It's that the one universal self is desiring to know itself in every form and every shape and color that's happening. And so this Aaron avatar, this Tambra avatar, is just one of those colors in the universal self. From that point of view, non-doership and law of attraction are perfect dance partners. But when we introduce a separate self who exists apart from the whole, who then wants to live its life in such a way that it gains pleasure and avoids pain, well, now we've introduced a fiction into reality. And that fictional self says, can I control the whole? Can I make the whole work on my behalf? Can I alone turn the gears of reality and make pleasure happen and not pain? That's the doer, and that's who wants to use law of attraction to enhance its life. So that's not a bad thing. Like I say, that gets us to the dance, right? That's why everybody always starts listening to Abraham Hicks and The Secret and law of attraction teachings, because it's like your ego, I have something really shiny over here. Ego can't resist it, right? It puts it in the driver's seat maybe for the first time. And then through enough manifesting, who really cares anymore? I'm just being lived. Ah, enlightenment. So it's one stone to another. It's one step to another. It's leading you to enlightenment. And the way you're expressing it right now is you're expressing exactly what I'm describing. The part of you that's beyond that is saying, well, who really cares actually? When I know I'm the whole universe, then I actually realize I'm already inside of the most wonderful, magnificent thing that could ever exist, beyond description. So I'd actually much rather watch that movie, than try to write a movie. Like, yeah, writing a movie's fun and writing a story's fun, but you can't write a story and experience it, right? Because it came from you. So it's like, I can write a story and watch other people enjoy it and how fun. But like, if I want to watch a really good movie, I got to watch something I've never seen before. I got to be totally surprised and open and just present. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And that's when the universe takes us on a ride. That's why we love watching movies and the dynamic, emotional ups and downs of a story, because we're experiencing a part of us that we couldn't have if we tried to make it up with our mind. That's, to me, what law of attraction is. It's like the ego trying to use law of attraction to manifest a pleasurable life is such a cheap version of what's really available. It's what you've expressed. It's, no, I actually want to be open to this mystery because the most divine scriptwriter in the universe is writing my story, and I'm really interested in what story it's going to write.
All right, that's exactly right. I mean, I feel like, we chose we're walking a tightrope, right? We decided here we're walking a tight, and we just have to trust every step and just let it go, just release it and let it go. And just, I'm kind of rediscovering the fun of it, just the sheer, like, my human self is a badass, right? I can just have fun, right? Just have fun and go in whatever direction and just let it all open. It's so cool to learn the language, though. Part of me says you don't even really need to take a course because this is what you are, but it's so much fun to take a course to learn the language and the concepts around it. So I really appreciate what you guys are doing. This is really cool, and I'm so glad that I pulled the trigger and became a student here. So thanks.
Well, thank you, Tambra, and I'm very happy you did as well. Look at this wonderful conversation we've had because of it.
I know.
A fun co-creation.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your sharing, Tambra.